Apocalypse Gaming.
So the first part of my build is taking my print out and sticking my floor plan to a bit of card. This is just a bit of waste card that came from inside a shirt, so we kept that for any use, and it's now getting used to stick the floor plan down. So then get my floor pieces. These little bits here, what you need to do is you take your knife and at a 45-degree angle you just slice down the joins of two opposite corners, so that when you put the pieces together, see it's been sliced there as well, they buttress. Because if you don't do that, you have that issue where they don't join, if you can see that. So it's just a little slice down the opposite corners, so that when these go on the corner, they join. So I'm just going to glue this together. I'm just using a PVA style glue. I'm using Evo Stick wood adhesive. Because it's the one we have. There's plenty we've had over the time. Good place to look for your glues is the pound shop. I'm out of all my pound shop ones, so I'm using this one. So, back shortly with an update. So I've taken my plan, cut it out round the edges and stuck the centre on, and from the centre I'm now going to work out. It will just be easier on me to cut the plan back to size before gluing everything down on it, otherwise it'll then be trying to get in with the knife after the fact. So if I get this done first, that should make it life a little easier. So as of this point, I very much doubt you saw any of our footage yet, because the internet's still playing up. But the next stage on my build is you take you take your plans and you join the two sheets of A4 that you've printed out together to form one continuous plan which you're going to use to build. You then take two straight edges and you stick them down along each side here, and then it'll be the same on this one. And that means that when you dry fit your blocks, you're going to see if everything fits. And if it doesn't all fit, that's where we need to start sanding, because we're going to build all four walls before joining the sides together. So I've got my rulers down, and then I'll get my blocks and I'll work my way up with my dry fit and make sure it's all going to fit. So back again when I get that done. Well, it seems unlikely that we're going to get these all up today, because we've still not got one video up. Nothing's really going. We're getting sporadic bursts of internet, but not long enough to get a video up. So I have, in sections, done part of one wall so far. It's easier to build parts and then join them together as larger sections when building Hirst, I find. It's the way he recommends it, and by doing it that way I've certainly found my builds easier. But where you do have your issues is making sure everything's sanded and aligned as you go up. So it does mean sometimes coming back and sanding bits like so this here. You'll be able to see there's just a difference in height, so I'll need to run some sandpaper along that just to get all to the one height. But otherwise it's going smooth. I've got another two identical parts like this to build, and now that I know what I'm doing in the actual parts I was looking for, I spent a fair amount of time coming back and forwards trying to find the right parts. Future reference for myself and anybody else that watches this video, these are made up from parts C and they're made up from parts A. You don't use curved parts B so far in this build. They may be used looking at it for the door, but for the windows it's A's and it's C's. And these bits here, which are difficult to see on the plan as well, is what goes under the lintel there. So I'll push on, come back when I've got the other two walls. A little bit further on now, that's a few more of the sections gluing up, and then I'll join a bit more, but wee bit further on. So back again. So a little bit further on now, and I'm going to let these bits dry up for a bit now, and I'm going to go on and start building the front, which is essentially going to be the same as what we see, but with a different archway for the entrance. So that's the next part I'm going to do, whilst I'm letting the glue set up in these, so I don't start trying to put bits together and then they all start breaking apart. So leaving that set and moving on to the other. So this is where I'm at. We are a good way into the Buildathon's time now. As you can see, it doesn't look like I've actually got very much done. Everything is just probably for today for me going to get lumped together in one bit of footage, because I've spent a good portion of my time mucking about and playing with our internet connection trying to get the bugger to work. And we're getting small bursts of connectivity, but not getting anything long enough to upload a video, and I mean small bursts as in seconds, not even minutes. So I've got all these sections glued together. This and this aren't yet glued, they're just gluing each section before joining. This was an interesting little section here. What I've had to do is half the brick, and according to Bruce Hirst instructions you take your hobby knife and slice through, but we use Crystacast, and the Crystacard is just quite frankly too hard for the hobby blade, and all it's going to do is blunt my blade. I tried it and it's just not going anywhere. So I got out the trusty hobby saw and sawed through the bricks using that. And now they're gluing and just drying up there. I've got another wee section here that's just gluing, which will be the arch there. As I mentioned earlier on, I thought this would be the different parts of arches, and it is. These are parts B, again for reference for anybody's building it, but also for my own reference should I come to build this tower again, because I probably will. So parts A, parts C, and then for the front door it's parts B, because it isn't referenced in Bruce's building instructions. It's easy enough to figure it out when you look at the plans, but it's worthwhile noting. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to let these dry, and I'm going to go on and build my side sections, which are the supporting buttresses. So that's where I'm off to next. Back shortly.